Michael Jackson. We all know him. We all love him. Well, most of us love him, but because he had many controversies. But let's not talk about the controversies and accusations. Let's talk about Little Michael. And first, I'm talking about how the Jackson 5 group started. Then I'm talking about the relationship with his father. Lastly, I'm talking about the successful career of Michael's childhood. Michael was born on August 29th, 1958. He grew up with three sisters and five brothers, and music has always been a huge part of Michael uh, growing up. He was born in Gary, Indiana. His mother was an aspiring musician, and his father was also a musician, but he wasn't really successful. Um, so he pushed all his musical traits to his children, and the children were performing at a young age. Michael IMDb page it stated that by the early 1960s, the older boy, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, they began performing around the city. And then Mike in 1964, Michael and Martin joined, and the group name changed to the Jackson Five. And a year later, Michael wasn't a background member anymore. He became a lead vocal with his brother Jermaine. According to IMDb, it states that Michael's singing and dancing talents were amazingly mature and soon became the dominant voice of the Jackson Five. Michael's life has been documented ever since he began to sing with his family. Joe Jackson, he trained his children for 3 straight years, 5 hours every day. Michael didn't have a normal childhood, and Joe didn't allow them to perform unless they were ready. And Michael and Joe Jackson both admitted that Joe wasn't the perfect parent. In fact, Michael and Joe stated that Joe would regularly abuse Michael verbally and physically, and even whip Michael during rehearsals. And uh, the father, Joe, would even tell Michael that he had a fat nose, and that's why we all know that Michael has a nose job. And Michael would get beaten the most from his father because he would talk back and defend himself. Michael was so famous that in public school, he had to go to different public school because everybody wanted to be around him because he was that famous. And the Jackson Five, they performed first in school dances, and then clubs, and then they were opening acts for well-known performers. And they had four songs that they all hit #1 in the Billboard's Top 100, and they set the new chart record. And Michael Jackson was considered a prodigy, and because he was able to sing and dance at extraordinary levels, not just for his age, but in general, he was super talented. And according to his IMDb, it says the solo success for Michael was inevitable. And by 1980, he became infinitely more popular than his brothers, the brotherly group. And Jackson was considered one of the most talented people of all time, even the best performer ever to exist. Him practicing for hours and years really paid off in the long run. He was the most complex celebrity to sustain fame over the course of such a long career. With the extreme success came a wave of the controversy and that overshadowed his accomplishments. On June 25th, 2009, Michael Jackson died of a cardiac arrest in Los Angeles at the age of 50. Rest easy, King.